Hello everyone in Oneness. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am Jessica Delmar. So this video is going to be something I want to share with you guys that came through over on the Patreon group. And whenever large pieces of information come through over on Patreon, I am going to share it here on YouTube because I feel like it's information that needs to be shared. And over on Patreon, I feel like things are shifting a little bit in terms of how the community there, the soul group there, is connecting. And we're bringing through big pieces of information here on YouTube. And I want Patreon to be kind of where we can gather as a community and dive deeper into the topics presented here, into questions, into especially begin harnessing that connection for people to integrate more of their higher self, more of their oneness aspect, connect more to this energy of oneness. And we are starting to do that. We just had our first live soul group session. And so we gathered some people together and had really good conversation. Before I went into that live soul group, I sat down and I asked my guides to bring through some information that I could share in that first live soul group. And what ended up coming through was I have about 8 pages worth of information that helps a person to better connect to the source within themselves, help a person to better connect with their inner power as a source creator being that has the ability to create your own reality and universe. And not only that, you have the ability to affect the macro and micro and everything that you exist within in oneness, because everything is connected. And so this long transmission came through. We broke it up into 3 parts. We've shared part 1 so far over on Patreon, but I'm going to share it here on YouTube. It'll help further activate and integrate the energy of May. And if you watched my May Ascension energy video that I did last week, it was talking about how this month is about cultivating this ease and flow and rhythm and getting you into this state of alignment so that you can better release blockages, align more to that creator center, which we're going to talk about this month actually in these videos, align more to the 0 point, align more to your ability to create your further ascension process. This month is a very powerful month in helping you to integrate more of that alignment and flow. And in doing so, it will help open your expansion so much more, because if you think about manifestation, creating your reality, in order to create or align or rendezvous with the thing that you want, you have to align your energy. You have to vibrationally align to that which you want, and that exists in a higher vibration. And so this month is really about helping you to sift and sort your energy and fine-tune your energy to bring you back into this balanced state of flow and allow you to flow with the energy of the universe. And so this is why we're going to be presenting the messages this month of connecting more, integrating more with the source within. And I have been speaking lately about the 4 realms of Gaia and opening to magic. Right now we're putting that on the back burner. I don't know if we're going to pick it back up. I feel like we will. But for May, we want to focus on getting you all into that energy of ease and flow so that you can begin to connect more to your higher self, the energy of oneness, and begin to manifest for yourself the next steps on your journey of expansion. But also, more importantly, when you're in this state of ease, flow, alignment with your higher self, alignment with the energy of oneness, you are then able to ask yourself, what is my inner lost knowledge? And be able to pull forward your inner lost knowledge, or more so, rendezvous and align with your inner lost knowledge in your conscious awareness. So things will come up for you and will resonate deeply within you for you to dive deeper into that piece of information and discover more connection with the information coming to you that further connects you to all of this stored information in your living library, your soul memory. And so what came through was this energy of Christ consciousness, Jesus, Yeshua, and Source itself. And it's no surprise because I wrote, I'm reading my transmission. I wrote, as I type this, it is 12:14 a.m. on Easter Sunday, April 21st, 2019. And a very strong energy of Christ consciousness, Jesus, Yeshua, Source, stepping through to tell us a story about love. And so this is why this this video series for this month of May is called The Source Within. And this is going to be part 1. So what came through is, in oneness, there is love. In separation, there is love. In everything, there is love. We desire to speak to you about the origins of love. Let's rewind the cycle of the universe that has been playing out in multiple levels, multiple frequencies and vibrations, multiple realities, multiple lifetimes, multiple timelines, multiple galaxies, multiple everything. Let's rewind back to the beginning, just a seed in the darkness. And then I was shown a vision of everything being black, and all I saw was just a small seed. I asked, but where did this seed come from? And what came through was, the seed came from the intention and desire and manifestation of the darkness, which is nothing, because nothing is not nothing. In nothing is everything. When everything has evolved into the space of nothing, I was shown a vision of everything basically crumbling in on itself. So when everything has evolved into the space of nothing, meaning everything kind of crumbling in on itself, everything moves into the space of 0 point. So nothing is the space of 0 point. I asked, so what exactly is 0 point? And what came through is 0 point is the space of returning back, not to source, but to the center of creation. The center of creation is the holding space. And they showed me a vision of basically like me just a few weeks ago. I was waiting for my car's oil change at the Jiffy Lube, and I was waiting, for a pretty long time. And so it's like a holding space, kind of similar to that, if you will. I asked, what does that mean? What does this holding space mean? And what came through is the center of creation is a holding space for Source to begin a new universe. When we refer to rewinding back to the seed in the darkness, we are rewinding back to the beginning of the universe that you exist within, not back to the beginning of all universes and life itself. We'll try to make this as least complicated as possible, but in reality, things are not really that complicated. To human 3D minds held in separation, maybe, but in understanding oneness, understanding the universe and how the universe works is not that hard. Okay, let's go back to that seed in the darkness. The seed is a thought intention from Source. And in the desire for Source to create, a seed was manifested. In nothing is a blank palette for anything to exist and anything to be created. The seed represents not a physical manifestation, but a non-physical thought form. It is pure desire, and in this desire is intention, and in intention is thought. First came desire, and that desire came from absolutely nothing. I asked, how can nothing have a desire? And what came through was, nothing can have a desire because nothing was built upon everything that existed before it. Everything that existed before nothing was something that reached its 0 point existence, meaning that 0 point existence is existence that has reached its ultimate expansion. And ultimate expansion is energy of oneness, love, and all that is. And so, when an existence reaches 0 point or ultimate expansion, it returns back to oneness, this center of creation, which is sort of like a void of creation. This void of creation is not source, but if source was a person, this void of creation would be like a blank canvas. And source would have the opportunity to begin again another masterpiece of creation. I asked, so what does it mean when we are told to get our energy into 0 point? Does it mean that we are energetically expanded into the void of creation? So I thought, we're told, I understand this 0 point, center of the storm, eye of the storm, your ability to create from this balanced space where everything is kind of in the storm around you. But what does it mean now with this new expansion of energy and this new expansion of knowledge of what 0 point is? Does this mean that we return into this center of creation space? So in essence, that would mean technically us as something would return into nothing, expand into that combustion place, if you will, where we expand into nothing. So I was a little confused. And what came through was, no, it simply means in the most simplest way possible for your minds to grasp. When you're told to get into 0 point state of being, it means to enter into the void of creation, an energy field that allows you to create from a blank canvas. Entering into your 0 point state will not send you into self-combustion, but will send you into a state of energetic frequency that connects you to the energy of creation and allows you to be leading edge creators and manifestors of your own realities. You see, in each one of you is a splice of source with the ability to have a blank canvas in front of you. And instead of being in a classroom with other source creators being told what to create or creating by default, you have the opportunity to fully understand your power as a source creator in that classroom and take the reins in creating your own masterpiece yourself based upon your own desires. This is the state of being in 0 point in your physical experience. Now let's return to the story we would like to tell about a tale of love. Source Creator is pure love, and in Source's desire to create, all things are created in love. The first desire that was expressed in the blank canvas in front of Source was love. And in this desire of love, a form took shape. This form was the energy of oneness, most like what was shown to me was a ball. So it was kind of like an outline form or a circle. And what came through was yes, most like a ball in which everything exists within. Or the energy of oneness being the boundaries of the blank canvas, or the boundaries of that ball, but yet everything within that ball. A so-called shape needed to take form in order to contain the creation within. And so, oneness is the energetic field that contains everything within a creation. So it's like the energy of oneness is that canvas, and you cannot have a creation on a canvas without the canvas. And so there is a boundary to the canvas, there is a blank space to the canvas, but you can create onto that canvas, and everything held within that canvas is part of that energy of oneness, which is the canvas, and also contained within that canvas at the same time. Also in terms of how the first thing that Source created was through the energy of love. They're trying to connect this back to us as physical beings, being our own source creator and creating on our own canvas. And so when you have an intention to create a more conscious and deliberate reality for yourself, it's like taking you back to that very simple step of how to create. And as long as you have that energy, it's that high vibrational energy of love that you can create your entire reality and existence upon. What comes through next is, in oneness is everything and nothing. Nothing, because the canvas was created from the void of nothing, in which everything exists. In oneness, Source took its first breath. It breathed life into the form of oneness. And then I had a vision of a deflated ball turning into an inflated ball. What came through is, in Source's breath was life. Life opened into the energy of oneness as pure energy, energy being vibrational frequency. So to better explain this, what came through is, in oneness, Source took its first breath. So if we go back to what came through in the beginning, this void of creation, this center of creation, that 0 point, is where Source is that holding space for Source to create a new canvas. So if you were to visualize Source being in this void of creation, this is where this comes from. In oneness, Source took its first breath. So in that space of complete oneness, that void of creation, Source took a breath. And then it breathed life into the form of oneness, that form of oneness being the canvas. So then Source created the canvas for itself. And in Source's breath was life. So in creating this canvas from this energy, this void of creation, this center of creation, it breathed it into a canvas in order for Source to create onto the canvas, and then as well into that same breath, creating that canvas also meant creating life, because it would be creating a masterpiece onto that canvas. And that masterpiece opening up and created on that canvas was created as pure energy, and energy being vibrational frequency, and life itself. What came through next is that pure vibrational frequency opened into different notes and harmonies, tones and ranges, meaning that in that breath of life on the canvas, that creation of a masterpiece, that energy, it showed me like different colors, basically, to dictate the different vibrational frequencies, the different notes and harmonies, tones and ranges. It's the different colors, the different blends, the different shapes, the different, it's the masterpiece all in itself. In the varying vibrational frequencies of oneness, Source watched as it spread out throughout the infinite shape or container or boundary of the canvas that is oneness. So again, that canvas is the energy of oneness. And it's like that ball that you can think about, but it doesn't have solid boundaries. It's more like its energetic boundaries, if you will. Oneness is infinite, yet also contained as the boundaries of each of the canvases of creation. So oneness is this energy that is infinite. It surpasses everything, but yet Source Creator can play with that energy of oneness, and it's like it can take a piece of that oneness and create it into its canvas to create this sort of boundary or this container for then Source to create within, if that makes sense. You see, oneness exists as everything, within and without the boundaries of the canvases, reaching far past any source and even past the very beginning of all that is. Oneness is the ultimate Source Creator, and in oneness is everything. Source works with the energy of oneness, much like you work with the energy of Source to create. Source paints with the energy of oneness to create its masterpiece painting. You, as humans, paint with the energy of Source to create your masterpiece paintings, otherwise known as your physical reality. Your source is simply an aspect of the greater oneness, and you are simply an aspect of source, micro and macro. Source is not much different than you, and in source is a part of you, because you are a part of source. So, back to the story. Source breathed life into the new creation, or into that canvas, or rather universe, and various vibrational frequencies, different colors of the painting, were opened and spread out. In the various vibrational frequencies, those different colors, tones, textures of the painting that spread out to every corner of the canvas, held knowledge of everything that had come before. It held knowledge of everything that had come before because Source Creator is in this void of creation space, that 0 point space where nothing and everything exists, where nothing exists because everything that had reached its full expansion, collapsing in on itself, that's where it returns to, is that void of creation. And so when Source goes to create a new canvas or a new masterpiece, it is painting with all of that energy within the void of creation. It's just painting it into a new masterpiece based upon everything that had come before. And that's what needed to come through for part 1. In part 2, we are going to speak even further into the expanding canvas or the expansion of a universe, as well as more about the source within and how to harness your connection to that source within, getting you into alignment, into ease, flow, rhythm of your connection, your place in this greater universe, this greater reality for yourself, this greater energetic cycle that you are part of, and claiming that power, claiming your place in the universe as your own source creator. We are going to have a soul group to further discuss and dive deeper over on Patreon. And so that's just kind of what's going on both here on YouTube and on Patreon this month, and what needed to come through at this moment. So again, we're just putting a halt to the 4 realms of Gaia and opening to magic, because I feel like there's still more of that to come through, and we might pick it up in June. But this month of May, we really wanted to harness the energy of May, which is all about that ease, flow, getting into that rhythm, and flow with the universe. And so I think this information coming through regarding the source within is very much in alignment with getting you in alignment with that greater flow, and bringing through more connection with your higher self and your connection to this energy of oneness. Thank you so much for watching this video. Together with you in oneness, I am Jessica Delmar. Oneness and love be with you.